I'm going to show you how we made this podcast intro that got thousands of views and a ton of leads for our client.
Right, so first things first, let's dive in and watch the trailer itself.
There's been some fake news online. It's affecting an awful lot of you thinking about relocating, moving to France. And this is regarding remote working on a long stay visitor visa. Two media companies online, which we won't name, published that on the 25th of June, this had changed. Another relocation company jumped on it pretty quick and said, look, actually, you're not allowed to remote work. We see now lots of clients that have been emailing us and saying, hey, is that possible? You told us it was okay.
Yeah. Quite scary,
so we were, quite scared as well. We've got this email from the consulate, which was the answer in red and capital.
They say...
You've got to read between the lines, I
think,
because these lines are sometimes a bit blurred.
Now let's break it down on the exact way that we built this trailer in order to increase the audience retention and view rate. We'll look at the 4x5 version of this trailer, as that's a huge reason as to why a lot of people came over to watch this. So for context, we put these trailers at the beginning of all the episodes that we create in podcasts, but we also render them out as their own thing so that they can be shared across socials for businesses. So let's dissect this down first into the actual content, the lines that we selected. So as usual, with all podcasts that we create, we start off with a full episode. A lot of chatting, a lot of conversations, back and forth, all of it. So we have to go through and find the exact lines and the key lines that we believe are going to create enough intrigue for somebody to carry on watching. So these lines are things like this.
There's been some fake news online.
There's been some fake news online. Instant intrigue, who knows what they're talking about. Then you instantly hear it, that big bass drop. Boom, there we go. That's some production value, which is doing more than you think. One, it's making people take a business seriously with production value, high-end production. These podcasts look the business, but they also sound the business too, which is obviously important.
It's affecting an awful lot of you thinking about relocating, moving to France.
There's the relatability. That's it. That's the audience that you want watching this video. That's the audience that this business wants watching their video. Therefore, we have to put that relatability right at the beginning in order to retain their viewership and keep them interested. That's all we've done. Within the first 7 seconds, we have created intrigue and we've listed exactly why they should carry on watching. 2 media companies have published that this has changed and whatnot. And then we go through each line. Lots of clients have been emailing us telling us it was okay. So we were quite scared. And then here's a big line here.
We've got this email from the consulate, which was the answer in red and capital.
They say...
They know that they're going to get value, but also... We're not going to give them the remedy, not in the trailer. We're not going to do the classic Hollywood where we're giving you the entire plot line before you've even seen the film. We want these people to carry on watching and come in and have a listen, right? There's your lines. That's it. So we took the time to extract them from this main podcast episode and then we shuffled them in a way that works to make sure that there's constant hit points to make sure that a viewer is going to carry on watching. The next part is music. Music is everything. It creates atmosphere. It sets the pacing. It does all of it. Quick jump in here. If you are a B2B marketeer and you are looking to create a podcast for your business, then drop us a line. We are LRB. We create podcasts that build brands and also generate leads for businesses. We erect a podcast studio in your business's offices, film, make it look absolutely beautiful, take it away and churn out over 20 assets from one day on set. We work with businesses to create a full series of podcasts to release and distribute. We manage everything from pre-production to production and deliver it all to you with a neat little bow on top for you to distribute with throughout the months to come. A full content marketing strategy and package right to your doorstep. So when we choose a music track, we go through it and we select the points with marker points, which are right here, on where drops happen, key parts. So right here, it fades out a little bit. Nice point for a line to come in, right? And we've got another one here. Boom. See that? Lovely. So that's a perfect place to pick the track back up after a key line is delivered. We mark those points out so when it comes to overlaying the music track in the sequence, we know where those points are and we can line them up correctly and cut and slice the track accordingly. The next part we add in terms of sound is sound effects, like this drop.
It's online.
Not only is the track dropping, but we've also got a lovely bass drop in there. another one here.
Actually, you're not allowed to remote work.
Another beautiful drop, okay? These do so much for the production value, but also kind of almost enforcing that sense of dread, around the situation. We got another one here. That's a rise, okay? So we bring the rise up to that key part, and then they say, bang, big bass drop again. These podcasts obviously look the absolute business. They were shot in a really beautifully set up environment by our team. That's always key. You're a business, so you kind of need your business to look good, and so making sure that the footage looks incredible is amazing. The next element of the footage is the B-roll, something that we call B-roll. We're overlaying footage. So here we go. We've got the guys coming in, sitting down, adds another element. This is doing nothing more than creating a bit more of a visually nice experience. So this is great to overlay, so it's not just people talking, and we slice and dice this B-roll in between accordingly. And then lastly, we've got the subtitles. We've got these kind of 1, 2, 3 word subtitles that are kind of proven from our experience as well to retain viewership, because people follow the words. We've placed them strategically fairly close to the center so that people can read the words whilst they're being spoken, but they're also not taking their eyes too far off the scene and the subjects as well. They're there throughout this. And then we've got things like crop-ins that happen. So here when wonderful Rich here delivers a line, we punch in a little bit, build suspense again. There's a few different elements that we won't go too deeply into, but essentially from line construction all the way to fleshing this out, this trailer has been perfectly built in order to capture people's attention and make sure that they carry on watching, which is something that everybody struggles with across LinkedIn and YouTube. Obviously, our wonderful team here at LRB captured this stuff in such an incredible light, which has just added to the value of it, and it's positioned this business as looking professional. I think there's a lot of podcasts out there who are Zoom and whatnot, they're doing a lot. It's great to have content, but at the end of the day, you need it to reflect your business correctly. That's why we always do professional shop podcasts, okay? So this podcast ended up getting over 5,500 views on YouTube just alone, and booked these guys over 20 appointments with business leads, which is an absolutely astronomical figure. It's doing more than generating views and building a strong brand. It's actually bringing business in for this company, which is amazing to see. It's amazing to see our work actually create tangible results. Thanks very much for watching this video. Subscribe to the LRB channel, like it, because all we're going to be doing is hammering out more B2B podcasting tips on how you as a marketeer in B2B can generate stronger content and use podcasting in order to grow the business and brand.